Alright, so here's Todd with Baseball Think Tank, along with John Gassler, my partner in crime here. We're going to look at Ryan Green. Ryan is actually just hit 94 a couple of weeks ago. And we're sitting here watching this video going, oh my goodness, if he's throwing 94 now, 98 has got to be right over the horizon. I want to show you a couple reasons why I truly believe that. If we watch this delivery through all the way, okay, one of the first things I noticed just watching it full speed is the lack of rotation, the lack of the shoulders and the arm being able to rotate all the way through the delivery. You'll see that, go a little slower, you'll see that played out right here as he goes into release. And see, Ryan, how the hips are not rotating all the way around, so the shoulders kind of get pinched off right about there. You can see your arm is almost parallel to your front leg, rather than being able to continue to rotate all the way around. We'd like to see, I can draw a line, we'd like to see this hand, you know, over on this side of the body somewhere. And remember this saying, the shoulders are at the mercy of the hips. So this shoulder line can only rotate as far around as the hips will allow it. So we focus on your hips right here, and you're going to see, this is always a telltale sign. Anytime we see this back foot, draw the arrow this way, there. Anytime we see the back foot kind of bouncing right there, okay, that's a telltale sign that the hips are not rotating all the way around, but your back hip has to actually bounce up and over because of poor weight distribution. Okay, so when we see that bounce occurring, that tells you the weight got stuck on the back hip somewhere and you weren't able to complete hip rotation. And again, if we can't complete hip rotation, we can't complete shoulder rotation. Everything else, you know, your arm action itself is freaking phenomenal, which is why you're throwing the ball, you know, in the low 90s right now. What's so scary to me is that if we can straighten out the hips, dude, you're 98, 99, 100, and that's scary. So, again, one of the things, I'll let John pipe up if he feels like he wants to say something here. You know, we look at why is weight distribution off. First of all, how can we tell it's off? Okay, if we zoom in and look at the front foot, whoops, I want a circle here. Doggone it. What in the world? Make a circle around the guy's foot. There we go. Okay, so we got a circle. So we can isolate the foot. We see through the delivery, I want you to see how your foot slips off. Okay, and actually, let's see, right here's the movement. Okay, we see the foot slipping around right there. See the weight settling back onto the heel. Okay, so that tells you the weight tried to get forward, tried to get to the middle of the foot, but because your weight wasn't there, all the weight slips back here to the heel. Okay, so hopefully you can see that play out, and the weight slips back right there, which is what causes your toes to come off the ground. And then after delivery, you compensate, and the weight comes forward again. All that's, you know, saying that your weight was late getting to where it needed to get to. If we zoom back out and we go back to our premise, if something's wrong on the front foot, something, whatever caused that, is on the back foot. So let's focus on the back foot of the delivery, and I'll try to be a little more professional and focus on the back foot there. And let's see through our delivery what we see the back foot doing. Okay, so as we're going into leg kick, I want you to see the slip there, and then you're going to see the weight settle back. Okay, so weight shifts forward, weight shifts back. So all of that tells us that we don't have our back foot firmly planted into the ground, so you're not taking advantage of ground reaction forces. You know, you could be pushing into the ground to create more force, more momentum towards home plate, when you're simply being very passive with your back leg and you're letting your left leg, your front leg go into leg kick, all this is just kind of soft and not really helping you a whole lot. So the end result of that is you end up just kind of falling down the mound, and believe it or not, starting or initiating rotation. You watch your back hip going into rotation right there, for the simple matter that you didn't put enough weight into your back foot on leg kick. So what I want you to work on, I want you to think about this feeling. When you get right there, let's see, where is it? I want to see when the weight reestablishes itself. So right there is when you really begin to use your back leg to push. Okay, that's the moment that the weight is settling on this back foot and you are kind of driving into the ground. That feeling is what you need to feel upon leg kick. Okay, as soon as this front foot starts coming off the ground, you need to have this feeling in your back leg. That's what causes leg kick. You're not getting that until you're there. Okay, so how do we have a more active leg kick? It starts by, in this position, establishing all of your weight. Okay, one of the Lance Wheeler drills simply calls it the weigh more drill. How much can you make your back foot weigh? How much weight can you put into that back foot as you're going into leg kick? And really all you're doing is you're going into leg lift using your glutes, using your hamstrings to lift this leg. Okay? Right now you're using this quad and this hip to go into leg lift. Our energy pushing into the ground has to initiate this leg going up. So think of a pulley system. We're pushing down to pull up. Okay, let the entire body work equal and opposite of each other. What that's going to do is create a more efficient movement of your body down the mound. You're not going to get right there is when you actually begin to rotate. Okay, what we're trying to do is peak the acceleration force of our torso, or our hips, I'm sorry. So if we can, where do our hips reach maximum speed? If we just watch this, right about there is where your hips begin to peak. And look, your trunk's, 20% into rotation at that point. Ideally, we want to peak our hip speed while the trunk's about right here. Okay? All that's just going to, as each phase of the kinetic chain goes, this piece reaches its maximum rotation, this piece can reach its maximum rotation, the shoulder will reach its maximum rotation, and down through the forearm. You're getting a lot of that, but you're probably losing, easily 5% of the energy, easily 5% of the energy that you could be putting into the baseball. And if you're already 92 to 94, we're losing 5%. That's 3 to 4 miles an hour. Okay? Now you're sitting 95, 96, and with a little extra push, you're at 98. So, just the minor change of learning how to go into leg lift the right way is going to greatly increase the amount of power you're able to generate on the fastball. John, comments?
No.
No? You agree? Disagree?
Yeah.
Okay. So Ryan, we're actually going to give you a call here in just a minute. I want you to take a look at that and let us know what you think. All right, man? Take care, bud.